then there's like 5 meaderies in Central Texas, and I'm going to be in Fredericksburg for 4 or 5 days, so I'm going to try to hit as many of them as I can. And then Memphis to see a friend, and then Asheville, a couple meaderies there, and then home.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. And that would be, what, in the fall?
No, we're going to get home probably around the middle of August is the plan. I want to be home before the eclipse because the eclipse passes like 4 hours south of us, so I want to see as much of that as I can.
Yeah, August 21st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be home by then. But we're planning on doing, next year we're talking about possibly doing some traveling in the Northeast, and I'm trying to work out to get to Australia. Hamish has got a trip all planned out around the southeast coast of Australia. So, or is it the southwest coast? Southwest coast.
No,
southeast coast. Yeah, I was right the first time. Okay, but yeah, so Hamish is pressuring me to come to Australia, and I've just got to work out the logistics and funding and all of that kind of thing. So,
by all means, go. So, what is the mead scene in Australia?
Hamish?
It's very young at the moment, but it is getting there. We've got a number of meaderies now. I think last count we're up to about 15 dedicated meaderies. A lot of wineries also doing mead.
Sure.
But my real question for you, my next question when you're talking about things on your list is, do you have any kettles or anything like that? Because we haven't even talked about bocets yet.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what a bochet is, Bill?
Kettles. I don't know what that is.
All right.
Tell me.
Hamish?
It's where we actually literally cook the mead, the honey, until it caramelizes the sugars and goes a nice, rich, dark color with lots of toffee and caramel notes in it, and then ferment it.
Wow,
it's really good. Think about the
I'm
caramel
actually drinking one
notes.
right now.
Yeah, think about the caramel.
I'm drinking
notes
one right now, and it's very, very caramelly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So you get a darker color, and you get. So cooking it as in you bring it to boil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and until it turns from anywhere from dark brown to almost black in some cases.
Really?
Yeah.
How long does that take?
It depends on how dark you want it. You basically keep tasting until you're at the caramelization level that you want for the mead you want to make. And obviously, you want to. A lot of people say you don't really boil it because it's too easy to burn. So it's more of a kind of a slow roll. You know, you're doing. You can do it in a slow cooker actually, but obviously, if you're doing quantity, you're going to be doing it in a different, in a big tub or steel tank or whatever. And you want something to do it. The container should be about 4 times the volume of the mead you're doing, because it does. All right, if you've ever made a beer, if you turn your back on it, it'll boil over. This is even worse, and it's sticky. Over. Yeah, so
it's
like napalm.
Right. I make maple syrup, and that's a real kind of a boil over potential.
Okay, kind of same thing.
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah, bocets
you're taking a lot further.
Bocets are all the rage right now. They're kind of one of the more popular.
Well, there's some really interesting chemistry going on. After it's been stabilized. And if you don't stabilize it... Pardon me?
Bochet?
The mead made with the... Yeah, how do you spell that?
B-O-C... Go ahead, AJ, sorry.
B-O-C-H-E-T. Bochet.
Okay.
Some people will call it a bochette.
Yeah, there are people who've never spoken French.
That would be E-T-T-E. It would be the bochette.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be like the feminine form.
So that that might be something to try. If you're doing a test batch and you want to try that might be something to combine your persimmons with, because that'd be a big, bold honey.
Yeah. Well, I keep threatening people that I'm going to have a really spectacular midlife crisis, and maybe it involves a lot of mead. I don't know.
If you're gonna be spectacular, Bill, you're gonna have to do like my friend Dara did down at Falcon Mead. He was the founder and owner of Falcon Mead, And he always loved making the mead, but he hated all of the business stuff, so the marketing and the accounting and everything. They had tax paying and label submission and all that crap was just making him crazy. So he went and found a guy who was really good at the numbers stuff and the marketing stuff and the organizational stuff, and sold the meadery to him, and then took the money and bought a Tesla.
Doesn't he work for the meadery now?
Yeah, he's the chief mead maker.
As an employee?
He's the chief mead maker, and the place wouldn't exist without him because it's his meadery. I mean, all the recipes are he who created them, and the new owner knows this and is only too happy to have him around. But it's like, so I asked him, I said, so you sold the meadery, you got a chunk of money, and bought a Tesla, and he's like, pretty much.
Yeah, so he can do all the things he loves doing.
Yep.
Doesn't have to do the stuff he doesn't like to do, and now has a Tesla.
Exactly. So now that's what I
think
call
that was a pretty good move.
Mm-hmm.
Friggin' win-win, man.
Yeah, that's what I call a spectacular midlife crisis there, you know?
That was a well-executed midlife crisis, though, because you come out with all kinds of things you actually want.
Yep, he got everything and lost nothing, so yeah. It was pretty cool.
I don't think a Tesla is part of my midlife crisis, but I don't know.
You could make a Bochet and do a persimmon Bochet. That might be interesting.
That's it. We're going to combine. We're going to use citra hops in the persimmon Bochet.
That'll be interesting.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together. We got a plan. Yeah.
Now it's going to have somewhere on the label, like when you're doing the extra information, and the informational stuff on the back, it'll say, with a little help from the Got Mead Live crowd.
Exactly. Well, I learned how to make mead. And they thought I was going to teach them something. I had them fooled. No. I love it when people are passionate about a craft, regardless of what it is. And certainly picking that up from talking with you all. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we love this stuff. I mean, there's four of us. Like I say, Manny's out due to an injury, but but sidelined for the moment. He'll hopefully be back next week. But the four of us. I mean, we do this for a couple hours almost every week. We take the occasional 2-week break and we take December off. But we do this, and we just do it because we like doing it.
And by a couple, she means 3 hours.
Yeah, well, it does. It ends up being 3 because we've got a half-hour pre-show where we just chit-chat about what's coming up, and then when we get done and we're not live anymore,
and we always run late.
Then we're just chitter-chattering.
Yeah. So how long was I going to be on?
As long as you wanted to be. Usually we have one. We used to do like a 1 hour. We'd have the guest on for an hour, because they get to talk about what they're doing and what they're up to, and then we'd have an hour that may or may not include the guest, their choice, where we'd talk shop, basically talking about making mead and techniques, new toys and tools and ideas. Yeah, and then it kind of morphed into we'd have the guest, and it would just sort of it would kind of go back and forth between what are they up to and how do they do it and what's new and trading ideas and stuff. So that's kind of where it's at now.
And our guests have been just so fascinating. We've run out of other stuff.
I'm going to need to run. Yeah, I'm going to need to run here in a little bit. But boy, I just so much to think about. I'm really impressed. It wasn't what I expected to come away with a big notepad here and some things to think about and talk about with my crew. Because there is this sort of this simmering sort of why don't we do something really cool with mead sort of thing flowing amongst us, and really excited to kind of talk about all this with my team tomorrow, see what they want to do.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things going on right now, but this is the kind of thing that could get people fired up. It really could. So.
Well,
maybe you should get them to listen to some of the podcasts.
Yeah, they're all archived. If you go to gotmead.com and just click on Got Mead Live, there's an archive for every show going back to the beginning, and we're on iTunes and Stitcher and all of that. So anybody with that's got access to iTunes can download any or all of our shows. Right. Okay. All right, I'll check that out. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna run. But it's really been a pleasure. Thanks for your time. And if you do get through Indiana, you want to stop in, I would love to host you. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
get up towards
let's see
Michigan
y'all.
a fair amount, and I do often kind of come in via close to Indiana. You know, my folks are on the west side of the state, so it's easy for me to come in that route. So next time I'm heading
you
up
come
north,
on 70 and catch us.
yeah, I'll plan to detour that way. It sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, good night, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
All right. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Cool. Well, that was fun.
Sounds like he learned as much as we learned.
Yeah, well, I was curious to see, what somebody who's been making the same mead for 40 years was going to do. And then, and I think he didn't realize, he was doing it kind of for fun, but I think he's just not really been dialed into the greater, what's going on out there thing. So,
well, it's kind of like when I first came to it. I had like two books on winemaking. One of them was from like the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
And making mead based on what they said, and I was doing all right, and nothing I made came out terrible without me being a direct cause behind why it was terrible. But when I got to mead, it's like, wow, there's a lot more stuff out there than I had any idea there was.
Yeah, it's just when I was talking when I was at when I was visiting today, and I was down at where the hell was I today? I don't even know. Oh God, they're all running together now.
You need to take notes, lady.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, I do. But it was Arctos yesterday, and today was. Dang it! I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the name because they're a great meadery. Hang on, and I'll tell you, Montague Mead. Bardic Wells. Bardic Wells is one of the oldest meaderies in Michigan. And
right, you posted a picture of that on Facebook.
I did, yeah, and I don't know why I was just totally drawing a blank on the name. But anyway, so I was talking to Steve at Bardic Wells, and we were talking about the fact that one of the cool things about mead is, to hell with thinking outside the box. There's no stinking box at all. It's just whatever we want it to be. Anything
you can
goes,
ferment anything that sits still long enough, right?
Right, pretty much.
Run, bunny, run.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, fermented rabbit probably wouldn't taste very good. Well, at least not in mead. Might in a pot,
He's glaring at me now.
Yeah, well, it's because you wouldn't give him your mic, let him talk.
He just wanted to rub his face on it. That's what that funny noise was, I think.
Yeah. For those of you that might have heard the dropout, we did have a momentary network interruption earlier. I just saw a note on the radio software thing and had a little interruption of the network. I have no idea why. But so we apologize for that. It happens. But that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling I'm going to be getting a phone call from him. What was it you guys were saying about blah, blah, blah?
And then you'll refer him to me because I took notes.
Yeah, and send him the recording, which will already be up on the system.
That's a good point, too.
Yeah. So, I'll be happy to send him to you. And, and then we'll ask him, you can ship, right, to Canada? And, you should send AJ a spread of what, all of your meads. I think that would be a great idea. So, okay, so for those of you who may not have caught it earlier, Camelot Mead retails for $10. Their fruit meads retail for $8.50, and they're 10% ABV. They're available in 18 states: Connecticut, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West by God, Virginia, and Wisconsin, as well as in the Oliver Winery tasting room and online at oliverwinery.com. So these guys are in a lot of different places, and just hit their website and you can go take a look at it. Coming up, let's see here, we have St. Ambrose Cellars is still doing, and I just missed their Thirsty Thursday last week, but they're still doing live music every Friday night, and they have Thirsty Thursdays with 35% off refills, and open mic nights on Thursdays starting at 6 p.m. Meridian Hive still doing last Friday of every month their board game meetup at the tasting room. So go play board games and drink mead. I think I'm there on a Friday, or I think I'm in the area on a Friday during the trip, so I may just go do that. Coming up, we have got Bobby Slants.